Is this thing on? Everything checking out. Like I need to check out. On that case, let us begin. Um, you know, very interesting. I have been in a for during my transitional period, right? And I'm recognizing this as a transitional period because life for me is it's not the same. Shout out to the Russell. It's not the same. It's not the same. We're in a I'm in a different place in my life. Um, Necessarily different, I'll say. Um, uh, I call it necessarily different because, they say that doing the same thing, trying the same thing and getting the same results over and over is insanity. Um, and it is. It's like a broken record. Um, and for that reason you know, I have been, transitioning myself into real adulthood. Um, you know, uh, Still a creative mastermind. You know, Still a pioneer of a lot of the stuff that is now commonplace, seen as cool, and I take I take pride in that. I do take pride in that. However, um, I'm not an idiot, and I also recognize that when things are not going right, it is on myself, but us as a people, to recognize that things are not going right, and then to do the necessary to change that. All right. Yes, I'm speaking vague. We will get into it. I promise you. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I've been wanting to there's a lot of stuff that since the last time I really felt comfortable enough with speaking and sharing. There's been a lot of stuff. So we're gonna dive into it. But to start off, you know, change, although uncomfortable a lot of times, change is really good. Growth, um, you know, things of that nature is really, not only is it good, it is imperative. Um, so let's get into it. First and foremost, I would like to send my condolences out to Takeoff and the family, his family. I, it's like your least favorite album or moment replaying, you know, almost quarterly for the last 4 years, at least quarterly, right? So, backstory: last night, I went back to, you know, went back to what I know, strip club. If people don't know, I am a pioneer of the content and the strip club. My mission has always been to make art out of something that isn't really seen as art a lot of times. So, you know, did that. It was great. It felt good to be home. I'm back at my vibe. Felt good, you know, made some content, it's Halloween night. And I'm not gonna lie, Halloween is not my favorite holiday. I mean, besides the fact that, y'all be looking good, y'all wouldn't be looking good. Y'all be looking good. But, I mean, it's not really, I mean, I'm an adult. I don't have any kids. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to dress up. And I get, you know, it's a higher level of anxiety that I deal with because I don't trust people with masks on. And that's what it is. I don't know who you are. Face painted, you look crazy. And more so the dudes, but anything is viable to happen on Halloween night. It's like there's literally, Halloween, 4th of July, there's a couple holidays I just not really my cup of tea, for more reasons than one, but for that baseline reason of I just get very anxious and I don't trust folks. I don't trust folks to act sane when they have their face out. So why in the world would I put myself in a situation where you basically get a free pass to do whatever the fuck you want to do? I got better things to do with my time, man. I really do. Like, I've been applying for jobs. Yes, Maddie, applying for jobs diligently. And not for nothing, I've been doing that for for a while now. And shout out to, I had 2 interviews today and they went well. So, shout out to those folks. Hopefully we get into something, more gainful to help supplement, my creativity and what I want to do creatively. But I'm not going to lie, y'all make it really fucking hard to even create in these moments because at the end of the day, like, what is it all for? What is it all for? Like, I remember when I first got on, I feel like it was early in my Facebook days, and I had the little tagline, the little headline, and shit. And my tagline was, I'm going to be famous soon. Y'all just watch. And, that was really like something I really wanted to reach a level of acclaim for being creative. I wanted to be somebody who was a beacon of light and, got my just due from, my brain and what I was able to output and, create not only for myself and very rarely for myself, actually. It was more so for the people that I, that I've shared all this stuff with, you know what I'm saying? Shared this journey with and the talented people around me. You get that, you speak things into existence because for all intents and purposes, I reached that. I reached that, years ago. And I'll never forget my uncle told us when we were at the height, and shout out to Uncle Lo. But he told us when me and Trav were really really just putting out the content and creating something that had never been seen before and really catching steam, like really doing what we need to do. It was the 5-year anniversary. He told us sell for $5 million and live your life. And it was funny because when you think about that and nowadays it's like it sounds good and you're talking to probably 24 maybe, like I don't even know how to do that. And I thought, in my mind, like, why would we do that? Like, this shit gonna last forever. And then it didn't. And with that, I talk to Trav a couple of days ago. I'm mad I didn't get to see him when he was down here, but the ability to go and say this was great while it was great, and then realizing that there's bigger things out there. There really are bigger things out there. Life, family, ownership. These things are bigger than just, a dream. Now, if you can make it off the dream, which is always the goal, which is still, still have that goal in mind, then it's awesome. But sometimes, it don't work out the way that you want it to work out, and that's fine. My favorite movie, one of them, How to Be a Player, Bill Bellamy said, players adjust. So, that's what it's been a lot for me, lately, and not even just lately, but over, a couple years now. I really feel like when I lost my pops, and it was a twofold thing. I feel like my love for creating in the hip hop space kind of died with my dad and Nipsey Hussle. It happened on the same day. I still love hip hop. I do. However, I can't get behind it and champion it the way I used to, because it is damn near genocide. You know what I'm saying? It's genocide. Let's talk about it. Like I said, rest in peace to Takeoff, and rest in peace to Trouble, and rest in peace to Mo3, and rest in peace to King Von, and Lil Pap or whatever, and like Mac Miller, all these people, bro. I could literally do this for days. I was looking at something, my man Lil Bankhead, shout out my man Lil Bankhead. He posted something of a list of all the people in hip hop that have died over, it might have been over time, but even in that time, in a 4-year span of, the last 4 years, it's been quarterly, at least quarterly. Sometimes it's back to back to back. And, at a certain point, it's just like, I value my life. I value my life, and not only my life, but the lives of my little cousins and my family members and friends and people that I've worked with and just been around and promote. Everyone that sees my message, I value their lives. So, in valuing their lives, I don't have the heart to promote or be a part of the genocide any longer. And it's like self-snitching and genocide. And it is really, they say hip hop is the new streets. And when they say that, they tell you in the streets that you're going to end up one or two ways: dead or in jail. I don't see much difference in the present state of hip hop. There are a couple people that I can champion, and I'm like I said, I can't do it the same way anymore. But the folks that I do, that I have been paying attention to, and really really am championing those people are artists like the Russell and Larry June, Primo Rice, SG Tone. There's a couple of them. Of course, Currency and them. From those people, the folks that are speaking a language that I can get behind. Benu Bird and Astro Avi, my Bando Beats family, it has to be something that I can get behind at this point, because the alternative, my friends, I just can't. I can't. I'm afraid. I really had fear in my heart. Not just for myself, but also for these people that have to deal in these scenarios. Man, do y'all realize how insane it is to think yo, I could go and try to help somebody, or I could just do me and try to get to a certain point, and then it could be over with. They could be over with any day. We understand that. But the life expectancy is too short. The results, what is it? You can't even enjoy the fruits of your labor because not everybody has it. And instead of being an inspiration, inspiring, others to get it, or others taking inspiration from you and be motivated to reach these higher levels, people would much rather just take and kill you for it, or be so upset and have so much jealousy in their heart. They'd rather just kill you for it and not even take anything. I'm sorry, but I can't live my life like that. I just can't. It's on Nowhere Avenue with me. It literally, I can't do it. And I won't. And I haven't. In my hiatus of sorts, I've literally been doing other things that I feel like have, given me a little bit more, my life expectancy has gone up a little bit more. Let's just say that. I expect more out of life, and I expect to be here longer. It's so funny. I've been in this spot where it's literally understanding that point, actually. Man, if I want to be here forever and continue to get off the message, and I have to be here. And out here playing around with, in these avenues that don't love me, I'm not going to get there. So I opted out. I've opted out. And with when you get to that point and then you look back, I don't even miss it, man. Honestly and truly, I don't miss it. I try to stay in tune as much as possible, but I also am very particular about the content that I allow myself to you know, ingest. Because, like, literally, man, like, this shit, it will, I mean, it's already shown its track record. Like, niggas be dying, bro. like, niggas be dying all the time. Like, literally dying. For what? For absolutely fucking nothing. You know? For absolutely fucking nothing. And at the end of the day, my life is worth more than that. And your life is worth more than that too. And anybody who's watching this, I want you to understand that your life is worth more than that. I haven't heard a justifiable reason why an artist has died, maybe ever. All sounds senseless to me. I got sense, so it's like I can recognize when some shit is senseless. Man, we gotta do better. Like, we gotta do better. And a lot of times, I feel guilty. You know, and the only reason why, because I mean, it wasn't me making the music, and I wasn't telling the story. I wasn't out there, doing the bullshit, but not being able to, swerve some of the shit, or, putting light on shit that, wasn't, it was someone's true story, but it wasn't my true story. And it wasn't the true story of, like, even my, my closest peers. But at the same time, their stories had to be told too. And to tell the story without having to necessarily, I mean, you're telling a story and you're promoting it, but not really understanding the reach of, what this is going to do. And we'll say, man, I'm not, not my proudest moment. Not my proudest moment. But I, that is what it is. Once you recognize that, though, then it is important to, it's like, what you gonna do from it, And I feel like that's what a lot of this stuff has been for me, stepping back from, being so hands-on, in the genocide. I can't promote some shit that I don't believe in, some shit that I know is bad. Like, that was the real reason why I stepped away from a lot of stuff, man. And nowadays, I'm so much older, and, like, I still pay attention, but it's lesser so. I pay attention, but it's not really to be a part or capitalize off of what's going on. It's more so just to know, like, how things are, like what's what it is, what it ain't. I'm long-winded, I know. I usually, and we're getting back into it where we're going to be doing these talks. We're going to be doing what we need to do, as far as being more fluent with the content. But even with that, man, like I I want to talk about like other things, man. I'm done with being, an ability, what's the a facilitator of distraction, or an enabler of distraction. Better word. Um, I'm tired of being, a someone who's contributing to the genocide of my people. And I just want more, man. Too many times, and like I say, it's a quarterly thing. This quarter, it was takeoff. Last quarter, it was trouble. Quarter before that, I don't even want to go and do this, but I can literally tell you it's been quarter for quarter, and it's to the point where, you're traumatized, but then it becomes so numb that, I didn't, and I didn't really know like Takeoff like that, but that's still fam because it's hip hop fam. It's someone that I have worked with in the past that, for all intents and purposes, a good dude. And then to see also how it affects, my some of my friends, you know what I mean? Shout out to D-Lo and Monster Beats and all those guys. Because, you see how this shit happens. And, I'm not an advocate of, I'm not a big gun guy, you know what I mean? I'm not a violent guy at all. Not really, I'm not, it's not gonna be me. But, to see somebody who, for all intents and purposes, was the most chill person of them all, still go down to gun violence, and, for me to also have lost friends due to this stuff in and outside of rap. It's like, man, my heart has become so heavy. My heart's become so heavy with a lot of stuff that I think I don't want to deal with it. And even last year, rest in peace to Jazz. Like, when that shit happened, another situation in, a hip hop scenario, that's really when I clocked out all the way. It hurt too bad. It hurt really fucking bad. And, I hate to say it, but it's self-inflicted almost, like self-inflicted genocide. It's gonna get used by words right because I know. But yeah, man, like it's self-inflicted. Like, we're doing it to ourselves. And like, when it's that, right? It's like, how do you stop it? How do you stop it? I really be feeling like, yo, we're in a situation where it feels like we in too deep. Like, it literally feels like we are at a point where people are just going to continue to kill each other. In this game, and also understanding that the game is bigger than just hip hop, Just because you're in, like, just because this stuff happens in hip hop, the effects of what are being promoted directly affect what's going on in every hood in America and even over the globe. Like, there's drill music in everywhere, like literally everywhere in the like it's everywhere. Yeah, man. It's this culture of hatred and like killing the no one cares about life. Just isn't as valuable anymore. It doesn't seem, and it's tragic. And when folks are promoted, when people are promoting, when this stuff is being promoted in music and the media, so blatantly, all right, so blatantly, the effects are people end up dying. You know, I was reading an article, or maybe I saw a headline that in DC, in the last month or something like that, there's 16 teenagers shot. Babies are getting killed by the gun. Like how and why is this taking place? You know what I mean? Like, when you really think about it, like, and you know, there's been issues in every generation, you know, but when this stuff is being promoted to everyone, and it is working so well that people, like, kids are killing kids, man. Like 9-year-olds and like kids as young as 1 and 2 years old are getting, are losing their lives, bro. It is so disheartening. And it's scary. I said, man, like, one of my homegirls, shout out to Tosh, man, she just posted online and asked, as a black man, how safe do you feel? And I answered, negative a billion. But I feel more scared about my demise coming from someone that looks like me versus someone that doesn't. And, people want to always pull the race thing. But it's like, at the end of the day, man, if you really, really, really take a look and take a gander at what's going on, you're going to recognize, man, like, I be with folks of all different races. And yet and still, the only ones that I really hear about that are, like, so consistently taking out people that look like them are people that look like me. It's a tough pill to swallow. Nobody wants, but it's accountability, man. It's accountability, and it's kind of waking up and understanding. Okay, like if we don't want us to die, and we want to be here, then we got to take the accountability to understand that what we are putting out there, or what is being promoted and what is being, is a direct correlation to why a lot of these things are happening. That's why I hate the fact and that these artists be like, well, rappers don't kill people, people kill people. But rappers are the ones that the people are listening to when they're doing the fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? It scares me a whole bunch that, little fucking kids are the people that are the biggest fans of the most evil music in the world of all time. Like, and then it doesn't make any better because it be grown adults that literally like don't find any issue with it. Like, listening to this shit, like some of this shit gives me nightmares, man. Like, it's some sick shit, man. It's some sick shit. And this is what is going through these minds, and they don't even understand what the shit is, but like, when you find out, and this is what's being promoted as, this is how you this is how you solve issues. This is what is being promoted. Like, how are we gonna win? How do we win in that scenario when, like, I got the kids? I hate that I can't even have, like, we used to have a lot of fun. I used to have a lot of fun on this platform with the homies and shit. Having fun just talking about stuff that really doesn't fucking matter. Like dockets and dockets of stuff. And these are our ideas, and this is what we're going on in the daily life and shit at the time. But, like, what does it all mean? Like, what are, if we're not talking about some real shit, then what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? I mean, sports is cool. I love sports. Sports is a great distraction from, having to think about this shit all day, because this shit heavy. It's not fun. It's not a fun listen. Insightful, very. I hope anybody that gets a chance to see this, watch it all the way through, and just you can. I want you to feel me. I don't want you to hear me. I want you to feel me. You know what I mean? And, I want to be the beacon of change that I was, many times in my past. But this change it's not for monetary gain. It's literally for the betterment of our whole society. The betterment of our whole society. And we gotta move different, man. Like, we gotta be better. We have to be better. We gotta watch what we say. And care more about those coming after us. than just the immediates of right now, because man, like it's grim. It's grim out here, man, and it should be no reason why me being, you know, 34-year-old man that I am, who's done so much and given out so much of my time and energy and, efforts and everything. And I feel scared to walk out the house or walk down the street or go to an establishment because I don't know if somebody's going to be tripping that day. Or I got to watch what I say because, it's just, it sucks, man. It really sucks. And we as a whole, it's not on anybody else if you recognize it and don't do right by the situation. And this is what it is. I've recognized it for a while, and I was scared, bro. I'm still scared. I'm still scared. Oh, like the whole thought process is mind-boggling to me. But we got to start somewhere, and it's starting with watching what we put in our in our systems mentally and physically, but like in this sense, like mentally, and changing the mind state, changing the way we do things. Because if not, bro, we don't got shit left. Like it's gonna be a wrap. Like it's a whole wrap if we don't get it together. Accountability, being accountable. Just like I spoke, I know in hindsight that a lot of my earlier work, indirectly, fed into the way the things are right now. And it's funny because it wasn't a lot. I'm not even going to say it was a lot. It was some. It was definitely some of the earlier work. Not everything, because we were very much so in the the vibes that we were promoting back then, and even to this day, it's not the same. We were dealing with some real pioneers, but can I say that it didn't? I couldn't. I would be lying. Some of the stuff it wasn't, it just wasn't going for a check because and trying to be popular on stuff that was, it's not the message that I want to be remembered on. I don't want to be on that side of history when it comes down to it. Like I say, man, we were very much so like in the mix with the Kendricks and the Currencies and the Wizzes and the, Big Sean's and those people of that era, where it was stuff that I can and still be proud of. But, the promotion of the other side, the genocide rap. Let's call it what it is. There was some of that too. And at this point, it's just wanting to be better. and getting so sick and tired of waking up, the first thing on my mind or the first thing I see is somebody else losing their lives and something that's really pointless at the hands of somebody that looks like themselves. Because, like, the uproar when it's somebody hurting us is insane. Like what if somebody does wrong by us? Oh, we going at it like everything crazy, but then we don't keep that same energy when we do it to ourselves. Why? And all this is all good, but the change still has to be made. So, shout out to AO Nation. One of the podcast guys that I been following for a little while. I don't really watch all this stuff because sometimes he spits the real, but I want to know negative news November. I want to be able to get through a month or get through, and it starts with a week. But then after the week, then it goes to the 2 weeks and then the month. And I just want to be able to not have to hear about the negativity and the negativity being promoted and the genocide being promoted. I start with a month. So that's what I'm on. I'm not going to be ingesting that. Even today, I mean, it's fucking, I'm basically off social media today because, for why? I know what happened. Now you're going to tell me on every outlet, sounds bad, looks bad, is bad. I'm good on that. I'm good on all that. I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to do something. I had 2 job interviews today. I'm going to use my time the right way. And then later on, I'm going to go. I'm going to do my thing, play some poker probably, go to, take some pictures, of some beautiful women out later. But I just want better for us. And it starts with being accountable. And, then it comes with a course of action. So we will continue this. I feel like that's how I'm kicking it right now, please, just for all of us, let's just do better. Let's just do better. It's a must. Let's stop the genocide. But that's basically all I got for y'all right now, man. Rest in peace to Takeoff. Rest in peace to all, all the lost ones. Everyone that we've lost, since the beginning. And let's value life a little bit more because for all we know, this is all we got. But y'all know how the game goes, man. Money on out of here. It's Maddie, make it work. InternationalAWoL.com. Please do something good for yourself and do something good for somebody else. And value your life, please. Do better. That's it and that's all. I'll holler at y'all in the future.